Welcome to this explainer. Listen, today we are tackling a massive, incredibly common frustration. Why belly fat becomes so incredibly stubborn after we hit 50. You're putting in the work, you're doing everything right, but the results just aren't showing up. Well, what if the secret isn't necessarily doing more, but simply shifting exactly when you do it? Today, we're going to explore how adjusting the timing of your morning walk can absolutely change the game for how your body burns fat. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive into this roadmap together. We'll cover 1. The stubborn fat problem. 2. Body changes after 50. 3. The fasted morning state. 4. Avoiding the morning mistake. 5. Walking for maximum effect. And, finally, 6. The 12-week results timeline. We're going to uncover the biology first, and then reveal the exact 12-week blueprint for your success.
I want to start off by validating something you might be feeling right now. It is so common, especially after 50, to find yourself eating less than you ever did, walking every single day, faithfully hitting those step goals on your tracker, and yet that belly fat simply won't budge. Honestly, it feels like a betrayal, doesn't it? It kind of feels like your body just stopped responding to your hard work.
But here is the truth when we contrast that effort with reality. Your body hasn't stopped working. It isn't broken. What's actually happened is that your body has just changed the rules about what fuel it decides to use. The old math of simply eating less and moving more doesn't quite add up the same way anymore, mainly because your underlying metabolic environment has completely shifted. Section 1. The stubborn fat problem. Why the old rules no longer apply. So the foundation of this whole problem is a condition called sarcopenia. Research from the National Institutes of Health actually shows that adults can lose up to 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade after age 30. And man, this process significantly accelerates after 50. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter for your waistline? Well, because muscle is highly metabolically active tissue. It's like an engine that burns energy even when you're just sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing. As your muscle decreases, your baseline calorie burn drops right along with it, which makes it way easier to gain fat and significantly harder to lose it. Section 2. Body changes after 50. The internal hurdles we face. Now, what's really interesting about this is how these 3 internal culprits work together against you. We just talked about reduced muscle mass, but right alongside that, research from the American Diabetes Association shows your body actually becomes less sensitive to insulin. When this happens, your body holds on to glucose longer, stores more of that energy as fat, and specifically deposits that fat right around your midsection. And on top of all that, studies from Harvard Medical School highlight the role of elevated cortisol. That's your stress hormone. When cortisol is high, whether from poor sleep or just everyday lifestyle stress, it aggressively protects and stores fat around your vital organs. It is quite literally a perfect storm. Section 3. The fasted morning state. Because timing really is everything. Let's compare these 2 states. So imagine you wake up. You've typically gone 8 to 12 hours without food, right? Your body has used up its short-term energy supply, and your insulin levels have dropped to a nice low baseline. This is what we call the fasted state. If you walk in this state, your body has no immediate energy from recent food, so it's literally forced to rely on stored fat for energy. Research from the American Journal of Physiology confirms that fat oxidation is way higher when insulin is low. But if you eat first, your insulin spikes, and your fed state walking is just going to burn the food you just ate instead of your stored body fat. Section 4. Avoiding the morning mistake. The habit that cancels the effect. So, the crucial point is this. The coffee creamer mistake. I know. Having just a tiny bit of sugar or flavored creamer in your morning coffee, or maybe a splash of juice or a tiny bite of a snack, it makes sense for comfort. But metabolically, it completely ruins the setup. Even those tiny amounts of carbohydrates trigger an insulin response. And the very moment insulin rises, your body immediately prioritizes those new incoming nutrients and slams the brakes on the release of stored fat. To protect that golden fasted state, you've got to stick to the allowed list. Water, black coffee, and plain tea. Those will not trigger insulin. But you absolutely must avoid the items on the right: flavored creamer, sugar, juice, and any small snacks. Listen, it might seem like a frustratingly small adjustment to skip that creamer, but protecting this fasted state is the exact biological mechanism that guarantees your morning walk is maximizing fat use. Section 5. Walking for maximum effect. Let's get into the exact execution plan. 15 to 20. That is the magic number of continuous minutes of movement it takes for your body to fully shift from using whatever available glucose is left over to actually transitioning into a higher fat use state. So many people simply don't walk long enough to flip this metabolic switch.
So here is your daily routine. Step 1, hydrate with water before you head out. After a full night of sleep, your body is mildly dehydrated, which actually affects your circulation and metabolism. Step 2, walk for 30 to 45 minutes. Since we just learned it takes 15 to 20 minutes just to transition into fat burning, a 30 to 45-minute session ensures you're spending enough time actually demanding energy from stored fat. And step 3, maintain a moderate intensity.
Now, why just moderate intensity? Shouldn't we go all out? Actually, no. High intensity is totally counterproductive here. Pushing too hard spikes that stress hormone, cortisol, which we already established is an absolute enemy of fat loss. The American College of Sports Medicine supports moderate intensity for sustainable fat metabolism. Use the talk test. You should be able to speak in short sentences, feeling challenged, but definitely not breathless. This specific level of effort uses oxygen efficiently and perfectly supports fat utilization without overstraining your body. Section 6, the 12-week results timeline. Let's talk about what to expect and when. Let's move to how this builds over time. Look, one of the main reasons people fail is unrealistic expectations. So here is the reality of the timeline. In weeks 1 and 2, don't look for skill changes. Instead, look for an improved routine and a slight bump in your daily energy. By weeks 3 and 4, you'll start noticing reduced bloating and maybe your clothes fitting just a bit looser. It's really during weeks 6 to 8 where the sustained effort pays off with a noticeable reduction around the waist and much better walking endurance. And finally, by weeks 10 to 12, that's when you achieve the visible changes, the better posture, and that boost in confidence. Consistency over these 12 weeks creates gradual, sustainable fat reduction by completely changing your body's underlying metabolic condition. Now, this routine isn't some magic shortcut, but it is a powerful, proven strategy that finally aligns with how your body actually works after 50. So, I want to hear from you. Think about your own journey for a second. What has been your absolute biggest challenge after 50? Is it losing that stubborn belly fat, staying consistent with your routine, or simply maintaining your daily energy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and keep pushing forward.